Khan had a great marketing day when it released its first trailer yesterday. Very fun trailer. Definitely check it out, guys, if you haven't. I did a trailer reaction to it on the channel. I can't wait. It looks completely badass. But today I want to talk about, does Godzilla v Khan have any similarities to Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice? And with the strong rumours that Godzilla v Khan and Zack Snyder's Justice League are supposed to open a day apart, is that bad for either film, and should one of them move? And that's just the rumour right now. But let's get into Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice and Godzilla v Khan. Now, both films have these huge titans going up against each other. But the thing with Batman v Superman is Batman v Superman has great action, great characters, the warehouse scene, the nightmare timeline when Batman and Superman actually fight. It's got a load of different action sequences that are brilliant. But the characters that are around this story are also interesting. You got Lois Lane, who has an interesting arc, and then Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, who I love, has an interesting arc, and he's a very good villain. You had Doomsday also appear, which was badass in that final fight sequence. You also had Wonder Woman, then references to Aquaman, Flash, and Cyber. But will this film, Godzilla v Khan, have similarities? Well, we have this god-like creature, Superman, Godzilla, fighting this. It's different because Godzilla has powers, Superman has powers, Batman doesn't have powers, he has gadgets. King Khan doesn't have powers, he has gadgets as well, per se. He got to see him in Khan Skull Island using trees. And this looks like he's using I don't know, like a spear or something to fight Godzilla. So, very much Godzilla is Superman, Batman is King Khan. That's kind of my similarity. Maybe you guys disagree, but that's what I think it is. And I've always been team Batman. Even back in 2016, I was always rooting for Batman to beat Superman. We won, and this time I'm going for King Khan to fight Godzilla, and I think we'll win this time as well. But the director did say that someone will win and someone will lose in this fight. He didn't say someone would die, but of the two fighting each other, one will win. There will be a clear winner and a clear loser, but I'm sure they team up in the end to fight a greater evil. And in Batman v Superman, they both teamed up after they fought each other to fight a greater evil, which was Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor's Doomsday. In this movie, I see a lot of talk of, I'm not big in the lore of Godzilla, but a metal kind of Godzilla or something like that created to fight. That could be a scenario. We could see the other monsters as well, Mothra, things like that. The Caterpillar, I'm not too familiar, but I know the monsters from King of the Monsters and also the references in Skull Island. But we could get some other monsters like that, where King Khan and Godzilla have to team up at the end and fight this greater evil, which I think will happen. So those are similarities already. And both films look visually brilliant. You know, Godzilla v Khan, I was struck by some of the visuals in that trailer, especially the use of colour, and something Batman v Superman gets a lot of hate because, on Zack Snyder gets a lot of hate because of lack of colour, but I disagree with that big time. I really do. I think Batman v Superman has some great cinematography from Larry Fawn, of course, who did Skull Island, both beautiful looking movies, but, you know, I just think that's a big kind of hate towards Snyder when it's not actually true. But I think both movies look brilliant. Some of the cinematography in Khan, Skull Island was brilliant, but also in this one, it seems to go up big time, Godzilla v Khan. You know, it really is. Larry Fawn's not the cinematographer, it's a different cinematographer, but I just think especially the colour of purple in it, the blue from Godzilla, really striking stuff, and I really do like it. But in terms of deeper meaning, now this is why I wanted to compare these two movies. In terms of action, I'm sure they'll be on par. The two popular characters are fighting each other, very much like Batman v Superman, Godzilla v Khan. Those are all things we know right now. But will Godzilla have this deeper meaning? Now, do we want it to have a deeper meaning? Do we expect a deeper meaning? Now, Zack Snyder was building his 5-story arc, his Man of Steel, his Batman v Superman, his Justice League. They all linked in certain scenarios, certain situations. We had deeper meanings towards Clark, Superman being this god-like figure. You know, Batman, very much a devil type of character in the Batman v Superman world that's created because Gotham has changed Batman, the death of Robin, scenarios like that. There's all deeper meanings in like that as well. Also, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor could be compared to Alexander the Great. You know, so there is certain similarities, and there's much more as well. There's lots of stuff got to do with religion, politics, media. In terms of Batman v Superman, it's a very deep movie when you look at it and really scratch the surface with it. It really is. But are we expecting that from Godzilla v Khan? Will we come out of it thinking, wow, this film really moved me? this film had a lot of aspects in it which I was not expecting, and it can relate to kind of themes that we see in today's world. Now, I always say that Batman v Superman is a very much grounded movie, and when I say that, people are like, it has aliens and all that kind of stuff. I mean in terms of how humanity would react in a certain situation, where this godlike figure comes to Earth and causes destruction, like he did in Man of Steel, where people die. There is consequences for that in Batman v Superman. We see that from Bruce Wayne's perspective. We see consequences for that. We see the media turn on Superman. We see politicians trying to control Superman for their own good, for their own use. And when Superman goes rogue in the desert, they want to control that because they think that this man can't be trusted. And that's where Bruce kind of gets that mentality as well. We can't trust this alien because at any moment he could kill the entire human race at the swing of a hand. That's exactly what could happen. Well, are we going to get those types of teams in Godzilla v Kong? Now, we see some voiceovers in the trailer that Godzilla is attacking people. We don't know why. They have to figure that out. Kong doesn't bow to nobody. Oh my god, it's Godzilla. Those types of themes. I don't think the side characters in this movie, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think they'll add that certain kind of deeper meaning as a Batman v Superman did, because they're two very different movies, even though there's a V in the middle and these two guys are fighting each other. I think Godzilla v Kong is more of this popcorn-driven movie. Now, maybe it's just bad marketing. Now, Batman v Superman had bad marketing in its momentum for the release, also pitting people to pick Batman or Superman, when at the end of the day, that's not really what the movie was about when you went in to go see it. It was about this story. It wasn't about picking sides. But this right here, the marketing for Godzilla v Kong, which team are you on, which king will win, it very much shows me that this film is just like Mortal Kombat, Titans are fighting each other, and we'll see how good this action is. Popcorn-driven action movie. Of course, Batman v Superman had its popcorn-driven moments as well, but it also had those deeper meanings. The marathon moment, the scene at the end where Clark dies, where Lois is holding him. You've got Batman there also. You've got Wonder Woman looking to the sky because of Steve Trevor. Those moments are very deep, and they are connected tissue with each character. Now, I think it's Alexander Skarsgård. He's in this movie. We get to see him crying. There's a little girl as well. Will we get to see something similar to that? Kong has this attraction to this little girl. Godzilla, of course, there's something wrong with him right now. There's somebody messing with him or causing him to this pain where he needs to do destruction, or maybe he's being controlled. I will be very surprised if Godzilla v Kong has this type of deeper meaning. But at the end of the day, going into Batman v Superman, I probably had the same mentality because of the marketing. The marketing campaigns are very different from what these directors really want for their movies at times. The Godzilla v Kong director could have a very interesting, deep, character-driven story where these monsters are fighting, and that would be very, very cool. And I think it would have a lot of rewatch value in terms the action looks amazing, but if it has that extra weight of characters, of this story, of this deeper meaning, then that would be great also. Batman v Superman has that. It has its moments of action where you go back and you see the action, but it also has those side pieces that I just mentioned that makes the film, for me, great. And if Godzilla v Kong could replicate that, and if it actually does take inspiration from Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman, then I think we're in for something really, really good. Now, Legendary, who puts most of the money into this production, they would love not more than an $8 million hit, $800 million hit, or $1 billion hit, because the MonsterVerse, if you look at the box office stats, Zack Snyder has more of a fan base than the MonsterVerse does, which is very interesting if you look at the box office results and how they've performed. And a lot of the monster movies have underperformed, in my opinion, especially for what they give people, that Fast and Furious type of action where you're just sitting there and you're enjoying it, family-friendly kind of stuff. So I do think that. But I just have something very interesting about Godzilla v Kong that I can't wait to see. I'm interested to see those teams. Of course, the action looks brilliant. To see these two titans fight against each other is amazing. But I'm hoping, I don't necessarily think there will be, but I'm hoping there's something a bit extra on top of this action. Like in Batman v Superman, like in Man of Steel. Great action. But there's also that deeper kind of layer that you're like, wow, that really struck with me, and that's amazing stuff. How Clark and his father connect there, and how he doesn't want him. He wants them protected. He doesn't want to reveal his powers to the world in case of what happens. And then we see what happens in Batman v Superman. Those are interesting concepts. So if they could take ideas from Godzilla King of the Monsters or Godzilla's Skull Island and bring them in and place them in this movie when it is supposed to be a big popcorn-driven action movie, then that will be really, really cool as well. So I think Batman v Superman and Godzilla v Kong will have a lot of similarities in terms of shots, and we already see that in the trailer. King Kong holding a spear, Batman holding a spear, red eyes from Superman, the blue kind of power from Godzilla, those are kind of similar in its own right, and the action looks great, and the visuals look great, and the effects and all that kind of stuff looks amazing. But does Batman v Superman and Godzilla v Kong have more in common than we might think in terms of that deeper layered story? That's something that I'm very fascinated by, and I hope it does. Now, if it's just a action movie with great action and that's all we need, then I'll be happy with that also, you know, just to watch these two titans fight against each other. That's pretty cool also. But if it does have that extra bit, it could have a lot more rewatch value in terms of, yeah, wow, that film really struck with me. And say what you want with the Godzilla 2014 movie, not much Godzilla, but there's some interesting characters and some interesting ideals brought into that story, which if they could bring something like that into Godzilla v Kong, where also the action is better and we get to see more Godzilla, then we could be in for something pretty special. But so far, the posters have been cool, the trailer has been fascinating for me. I really thought it was just a lot of fun, but again, the marketing could be doing the movie a disservice in terms of what it actually means and that deeper meaning from the characters, which I think will be interesting. You know, why are the characters in this movie so fascinated with Godzilla, so fascinated with King Kong? Why is there this metal Godzilla coming into it? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Who is trying to control Godzilla? So those elements are actually pretty fascinating. I think with the right writers, direction, you could do something pretty fascinating with that, and it would be hard to get right. And maybe it's too ballsy for them to try this after the box office kind of, not failure, but underperformance of the MonsterVerse movies, that maybe they're like, okay, we'll just do great action in this movie, we won't leave all that side stuff and just not really touch it, you know. But Batman v Superman could have just been pure action from start to finish, but Zack wanted to bring in these extra teams, and I think it really stood to the movie lasting more than 4 years and people still talking about it now and still wanting more Zack Snyder work, because not only is the action and the visuals and all that stuff great, it also has relatable characters, relatable teams, and something that really engages you with an audience member. And if Godzilla v Kong could do that, this could be a movie that we still talk about 4 or 5 years from now because of what it did, and not just watch it now, oh, really cool action, oh, catch it again in a year, yeah, action is cool, but then you forget about it after that, you know. So I'm hoping, maybe I'm just being optimistic, but Godzilla v Kong could be that movie, that Batman v Superman, in terms of it really has this fan base, not a massive fan base, but a fan base that goes for year after year and watches this movie and talks about this movie. That's something that I think is definitely possible with this movie. And I think a lot of engagement online that I've seen, and I know I follow a lot of Snyder Cut fans, but I see them really, really interested in Godzilla v Kong. Now, there is that kind of a subconscious thing where you're thinking, wow, it reminds me of Batman v Superman and I can't wait to see this, the visuals are pretty cool. But if Godzilla v Kong can strike the Snyder Cut movement fan base as a Batman v Superman did, in terms of how it was presented to us and how the marketing didn't do the movie that justice, but the fans really saw what the deeper meaning of the movie was, then this movie could last for 4 or 5 years, and maybe with that reaction from the Snyder Cut fans and maybe more fans, you could get more from the Godzilla King Kong MonsterVerse, very much like we're getting more from the Snyderverse with Zack Snyder's Justice League coming. I just think these studios for a while kind of bypassed these kind of fan bases, and of course the lore of Godzilla and King Kong is pretty popular as well, but it hasn't transferred over to box office results like a Man of Steel did or a Batman v Superman. Of course they're comic book characters as well. Comic book characters are the now and then thing where people love them and want to go see them. But I very much think that Godzilla v Kong, even though it looks like this mega movie, I think lots of people will check it out. I think it could be a huge hit in terms of its lengthy discussion of it as well, not just in terms of box office. Like the Transformer movies all made billion-dollar box office and were huge successes, but the talk of those movies didn't really go on year to year. You know, people weren't still discussing Shia LaBeouf's character 10 years from now, you know what I mean? So those kind of things could be in Godzilla v Kong's favour if they do them right. Now, I could be just putting too much credit and putting all my eggs in one basket right now, right here with you guys, but if Godzilla v Kong could be that type of movie, like a Batman v Superman, I think the discussion of this movie could carry on for more than a year, 2 years, 3 or 4, 5, 6 years, like Man of Steel, like a Batman v Superman. But those similarities with Batman v Superman and Godzilla v Kong could be just more than the action, and it could be just more than the visuals. And those signs with the little girl with Skarsgård crying, and the talk about King Kong bows to nobody, and Godzilla is hurting people and we don't know why, we need to figure it out. Those right there give me signs, they give me hope that we could have another type of Batman v Superman on our hands. Now, it's very hard to touch Batman v Superman, but those examples that I talked about, I think it's a strong possibility. But I want you guys to let me know below What do you think the similarities between Batman v Superman and Godzilla v Kong can actually be? And am I just talking BS here? Am I just giving too much hope and too much optimism out here, guys, that I think there could be a lot more similarities, not only in the action and the visuals, but the deeper underlining plot and meaning of this film? So I'm interested in that, because somebody has to control and create this other Godzilla, Metal Godzilla. Jesse Eisenberg's character created Doomsday. Will we have a Jesse Eisenberg type character in Godzilla v Kong? I think it was hinted at big time, and I think we will, but maybe I'll be proven wrong, and maybe it's just going to be an action fest of popcorn eating movie, like a Transformer movie, Michael Bay, or there could be something extra with this movie, and I hope there is something extra. Guys, let me know below your thoughts. But also, another thing I want to touch as well, just for a few minutes, is Grace Randolph, huge YouTuber, beyond the trailer, has done a number of interviews with Zack Snyder. People say don't believe Grace Randolph, but she's done interviews with Zack Snyder. So when she talks about Snyder Cut stuff, I do kind of take up and take notice, because she's been right about Snyder Cut stuff before, and she's actually talked to the man in multiple interviews. And Zack Snyder doesn't do many interviews nowadays, but when he does them, it's with the fan base, or it's with people he trusts and respects, and he must trust Grace Randolph if he's willing to do interviews with her. And she's a huge YouTube channel as well, so that's a lot of kind of that's a lot of engagement for Zack Snyder's Justice League. But she said she's hearing right now that Godzilla v Kong and Zack Snyder's Justice League are supposed to open a day apart. Now, I was kind of annoyed by this in a little way. Now, look, I'll watch both movies on the same day. I'll watch them back to back. I won't sleep. I won't eat. I won't go to the toilet. I'll just watch these movies. 4 hours of Zack Snyder's Justice League, Godzilla v Kong, no problem. I can do that easy, right? But when I was talking about this on Twitter, I was talking more from a business standpoint for HBO Max, and more or less for the respect for both films. I want both films to do well. I'm really looking forward to them. It's not me being a Zack Snyder stan and just saying, hey, move Godzilla v Kong, you're taking away all the limelight from Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's not what I'm talking about whatsoever. What I am talking about is that you have to be respectful to both movies. Now, Godzilla v Kong trailer came out yesterday, big hit, trended all day. People are still talking about it today. Great stuff. It looks like it's going to get a lot of engagement for HBO Max. But Godzilla v Kong was a theatrical movie that was moved to HBO Max. It was supposed to come out in May, moved to March. Now, it looks like it was moved to March because Legendary, who put 75% of the budget into this movie, they want to make some buck back quick. And they're probably going in debt big time. But this movie getting moved closer now is probably because they need money. And they want to see how big of a success this streaming kind of platform can be, because Netflix did bid for Godzilla v Kong and Warner Brothers turned them down. But it's coming out March 26th. Now, if you look at the trailer, actually, the release date wasn't on the trailer, which was pretty interesting. So it might move again a week or 2 weeks from where we were told it's going to be March 26th. We were given no exact release date for Zack Snyder's Justice League, only that Zack Snyder said himself it was coming out in March. So a lot of us predicted that it was going to be at the end of March, because if you look at Batman v Superman, if you look at Zack Snyder's filmography, a lot of his movies come in March and at the end of March, but a lot of them come out in March. That's why we predicted March, and I even did a video about Zack Snyder's filmography and what exact dates those movies came out. So that's why I kind of added up that will be at the end of March, but no exact date. But the rumored date was the 25th, and that's exactly what Grace Randolph is saying. The 25th of March is Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the 26th is Godzilla v Kong. Now, I want to talk about, from a fan point of view, how great this is. 2 movies, get to sit down, get to watch them, big blockbusters, characters we love, happy days. I want to talk about, from a business standpoint, why it's kind of not a good idea. HBO Max is trying to catch up to Disney Plus. It's trying to catch up to Netflix. It wants to get subscribers. It wants to get engagement to the platform. But for me, it doesn't make any sense if you release 2 big movies within 24 hours of each other on the same platform. You wouldn't see Netflix release Army of the Dead and then the next day release Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's action movie with Ryan Reynolds. It makes no sense. You wouldn't see Disney Plus release WandaVision today and then tomorrow release Loki. You just would not see that, because it wants to get the best possible amount of subscribers it can and money, and that's constant flow of subscribers, and that happens by having content week to week, month to month. Now, if Godzilla v Kong and Zack Snyder's Justice League open up a week from each other, I think that's fine. 100%. 2 weeks, fine. A month, I have no problem. You know, a week at tops, that's loads of time. But a day, it just takes a lot from each movie, I think, in my opinion. Now, I may be wrong. You guys may have different opinions on this, but I just think these movies opening up a day from each other takes away from both of them. Like, what if Zack Snyder's Justice League is brilliant and Godzilla v Kong is not watchable? It takes away the momentum from Godzilla v Kong. What if 2 of them are great and more people are talking about one or the other? You know, it takes away from it. What if the 2 of them are huge successes and everybody loves them, but the kind of the social media engagement and trending is on both movies, and one doesn't really get to shine on its own. Now, if it was in theaters, both movies wouldn't open together, but I know what you're saying. It's streaming. People can sit down and watch it whenever they're ready. I understand that thing, but when you're doing a marketing campaign, I think it's best to be respectful to your directors, to your artists, to the movie, and give it a week break. You know, don't have two movies which are going to be huge together like that, because it takes away from each. If you had Zack Snyder's Justice League come out on the 18th of March, if you have Godzilla v Kong come out on the 26th, there's a week's break there in between the two of them that you could be like, oh yeah, I got to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, and talk about all you want. The social media engagement is going crazy. Interviews, exclusives, posters, behind the scenes stuff, just talk and keep that going and going. Then a week later, it dies down a little bit, Godzilla v Kong comes, and then Godzilla v Kong has its own weekend to itself, where interviews happen. You know, HBO Max is trending all day. You know, that's 2 weeks in a row that HBO Max could be trending. Also, the Friends reunion, which is going to be huge also. I think The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a big hit for HBO Max too. Friends is massive, huge fan base. My sister loves it. She'll watch that. So if you had Friends, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and Godzilla v Kong, there's 3 weeks of constant trending, discussing, talking about these products and these services, and it will show how much people are willing to go to HBO Max. Now, HBO Max want to have big first kind of order numbers for the first few months of 2021, and those numbers would drive that on big time. Godzilla v Kong, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Friends reunion, unbelievable stuff. These huge IPs that people want to watch, talk about, and engage with each other. Then that will be a month of HBO Max absolutely killing it on the trending list, and probably subscribers. You know, but I just don't, it wouldn't make sense, right? So would this make sense to you if March 1st the Friends reunion dropped, March 2nd Godzilla v Kong dropped, March 3rd Zack Snyder's Justice League dropped? If that happened, does that make sense to you as a business person? Would you actually do that? If you had those 3 app properties for the month of March, would you release them together? I don't think you would. I think you would space them out in March, because then your subscribers will watch all 3 of them, or watch 2 of them. We're like, alright, that's cool, what's the next big thing coming, you know? And they have a month to wait, or 2 months to wait, you know? And less time, if it's a week or 2 weeks, you know. That's just my opinion on that. It's not me being a Snyder stan saying, oh my god, you're taking all the limelight away from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't. And people were saying that Legendary ordered that date at the March 26th. That's reasonable. They put 75% of budget into that movie. They want to get money back. And maybe they're underestimating Zack Snyder's Justice League a little bit as well. Maybe they're thinking, alright, this is just the director's cut of that movie. It's not really getting a theatrical release either. So maybe if it won't affect us too much. But I think they're underestimating the Zack Snyder fans again, because if Godzilla v Kong comes out a day after Zack Snyder's Justice League, what's going to be trending? Zack Snyder's Justice League. The fans of the Snyder Cut movement won't let this die down. They'll be constantly talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it might in a way overshadow Godzilla v Kong. But that's my opinion. And it might be the same if Godzilla v Kong came out first, and then 24 hours later Zack Snyder's Justice League came out. It could be a similar situation. So that's why I think you need to be respectful to both movies, spread them out, and then more engagement, more people go to HBO Max, more people are talking about HBO Max, not only for 1 weekend, but for 2, 3, 4, a whole month of March. That's just my opinion. Maybe you guys have something different to think about that. Maybe I'm just thinking too much about it and just shut up, bike in and watch the stuff. Okay, I'll watch it. But that's what really struck my mind. It just doesn't make any business sense that you would put all these movies together like that, unless you're trying to sabotage Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's kind of a theory going out there as well, but it's not against the theories, because a lot of stuff Warner Bros. Have done has been pretty shady towards its directors and stuff in the past. But hopefully they're changing. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Does Batman v Superman and Godzilla have any similarities whatsoever? And will it have any similarities in terms of a deeper meaning? What do you think of Godzilla v Kong and Zack Snyder's Justice League possibly dropping within 24 hours of each other? I wouldn't worry too much about it. I bet you it will be all sorted out. I bet you they will drop a week. I bet you Zack Snyder's Justice League will be around March 16th, 17th or 18th, and then Godzilla v Kong will be the 26th. I think they will all get space to shine, because that's the best decision, and more subscribers will go to HBO Max and want to watch these products because they'll stay around. Godzilla v Kong was great. Oh, Zack Snyder's Justice League's next. Friends reunion, Mortal Kombat. They'll stay around. That's what they want. And don't cancel your subscription either, guys. Don't do that. No, that looks bad. If you watch those movies then you cancel the subscription, don't do that either. But guys, what's your thoughts? I want to hear it below. Give a like, follow me on all the social medias. That stuff is in the description. Have a good day. Thanks for listening to me. My voice is tired, but I thought it was all interesting information and good debates. And that's why I want you guys to get into the comments, let me know your thoughts, because it's all interesting and I want to engage with my fan base here and the guys who love movies as much as I do. This is a place in a friendly environment where we talk about movies, guys. Do something you love, do something you're happy, makes you happy, watch something. What have you been doing today? Have you done anything to make yourself happy? Watch a movie, watch a show, enjoy, relax. Have a good day, guys.